Alright, the new WBSC World Rankings are in, updated after the Premier 12. 84 nations total, 2 newcomers, 2 returnees. Not many dramatic rises or falls, though there were a few. Almost every nation changed spots from last time. And now the race is on. At the end of 2025, the top 12 teams will automatically qualify for the 2027 Premier 12, while the teams ranked from 13 to 18 will earn a spot in the first ever Premier 12 qualifiers. Let's take a look at the rankings from number 84 all the way up to number 1. Along the way, I'll talk about what the countries accomplished this year. Not all of them, just the ones worth mentioning. And for some, whether we can expect them to rise or fall in the years ahead. Okay, starting at the bottom, the lowest ranked country in the world at number 84 is Estonia. The number next to that is their ranking on the continent, so Estonia is number 30 in Europe. The next number you see is the number of total points earned, so Estonia has earned 2 points in this ranking period. After that, the points earned this year, 0 for Estonia in 2024. And all the way to the right, the number of places up or down since the last rankings came out in September. Estonia was also the lowest ranked country at the end of 2023, but that's because there were only 80 countries. So the 2 newcomers and the 2 returnees were able to leap past Estonia and some other teams. This doesn't mean that Estonia is the worst baseball playing country in the world, just the lowest to have earned points. There are dozens more countries that have been competing internationally, but haven't earned any points in the last few years. Then we see Solomon Islands with 3 points, Bolivia and Tanzania tied at number 81 with 4 points. At number 80, Cambodia, in the rankings for the first time. They just started playing baseball there less than 20 years ago, suffered some lopsided defeats in their first international appearances. They competed at the East Asia Baseball Cup last month in the Philippines, and while they didn't win any games, 2 of their 4 losses were by only 3 and 4 runs. Number 79, Turkey, 6 points. 78, Fiji, 8 points. Both countries down 3, making room for Malaysia to make its return to the rankings. They also competed in the East Asia Cup. They beat Cambodia 12-8, but got annihilated in their other games. The worst was a 5-inning, 31-0 loss to Thailand. 76, Finland, down 2. Number 72, it's a 4-way tie. Afghanistan, Nepal, India, all West Asian countries, no points in 2024. And the tiny Pacific island nation of Palau. So Palau, with a population of just 18,000, is tied with India, population 1.4 billion. I'd really like to see those two face off, that would be something else. 70 is a tie between Indonesia and Romania. Indonesia is the other returnee, so that makes 3 teams from Southeast Asia here that were not in the rankings last time. Indonesia was 5th out of 7 countries at the East Asia Cup, beat Cambodia and Malaysia, almost beat Singapore. 69, Bangladesh. 67 is a tie, Kenya and Belarus. 66, Ecuador. A 3-way tie for number 63, the Northern Mariana Islands, El Salvador, and Poland. Poland hosted a Baseball European Championship qualifier back in July. They were 2nd out of 4 teams, easily beating Finland and Romania, but lost in the final to Lithuania, 10-9. This could be a country on its way up. Back in April, Dennis Cook, a Major League pitcher for 15 years, became Poland's manager. 62 is Norway with 32 points, 61 Bulgaria with 33, 60 Slovenia with 37 points, 14 for the year. 59 Serbia, they were 2nd in the Euro B pool group they hosted. 58 Honduras. 57 the other newcomer, Sint Maarten, here for the first time. Sint Maarten is a Caribbean island, a constituent country in the Kingdom of the Netherlands, just like Curaçao and Aruba. Population of just 58,000. Not to be confused with Saint Martin. Those two share the same island, but Saint Martin is French. Sint Maarten is Dutch. Denzel Richardson comes from Sint Maarten. He was a 2-time MVP in the Dutch League for the Amsterdam Pirates, and he was one of Team Netherlands' best hitters in the Premier 12. So Sint Maarten is a new name for the rankings, but they are not new to baseball. 56 Ireland. They hosted a Euro qualifier group, finishing 2nd out of 4 teams, losing only to Austria. 55 Laos. 54 Singapore, 4th out of 7 countries at the East Asia Baseball Cup. 53 Costa Rica, 11th out of 13 countries in the Under-18 World Cup qualifier held in Panama. They finished ahead of 2 other Central American countries, Guatemala and El Salvador, 1 place behind Brazil. The top 9 were all well-known baseball countries in Latin America. 51 a tie between Sri Lanka and Guatemala. Number 50, New Zealand, the lowest ranking of any country that was in the last WBC qualifier. No points earned this year. No more professional baseball in the country as of last year. Not looking good there. Number 49, Chile, big climber, up 7 spots after claiming the bronze at the South American Baseball Championship in Peru last week. 48, Uganda, nothing this year, not enough participation to earn points, but they are a lot stronger than their ranking would indicate. 47, Bahamas, they have begun a path toward competing more independently, instead of joining Great Britain for major tournaments. They'll be top 30, maybe top 20 in the future. 46, Palestine. 45, the U.S. Virgin Islands, up 21 points. They are the biggest climber of any team on here. In October, they won silver at the Caribbean Baseball Cup, lost to Curacao 2-1 in the gold medal game. Their road to the final included a win over Cuba. 44, Peru, 4th at the South American Championship, which they hosted. 43, Lithuania, champions of a 4-team Euro qualifier, beat the host Poland in the final. 42, Slovakia, they were 3rd in the Baseball European Championship B pool group in Serbia. One highlight this year for Slovakian baseball, this doesn't affect the rankings, but a 23-year-old left-handed starting pitcher Adam Mako, a born and raised Slovakian, reached AAA Buffalo in the Toronto Blue Jays system. Only one appearance and it didn't go well, but he's almost there. 41, Switzerland. 40, Hungary, champions of a 5-team Euro qualifier, beat the host Serbia for the top spot. 39, Russia, they can't participate, can't earn points, they'll eventually fall out of the rankings. 38, Guam, they competed at the Under-15 Baseball World Cup in Colombia back in August, though they lost all their games and finished last. 37, Pakistan, West Asia's #1 baseball team. They proved that once again last month at the inaugural Arab Classic in Dubai. 36, Greece. 35, Thailand, bronze medalist at the East Asia Baseball Cup. 34, Ukraine, still competing despite the circumstances. 33, Argentina, won gold at last week's South American Championship, beat Brazil in the final. This country has made a lot of progress in recent years. 32, Sweden. 31, Hong Kong, silver medalist at the East Asia Cup. 30, South Africa, competed in the Under-15 and Under-23 World Cups, went 1-7 in both tournaments, still the #1 team in Africa. 29, Croatia. 28, Austria, champions of a 4-team Euro qualifier, beat the host Ireland in the final. 27, Belgium. 26, Curacao, champions of the Caribbean Cup. 25, Philippines, won gold at the East Asia Cup, #5 in Asia, #1 in Southeast Asia. 24, Spain, gearing up for the WBC qualifiers in 2025. 23, Brazil, lost to Argentina in the South American Championship, had to settle for the silver. 22, Canada, 5th at the Under-18 Baseball Americas qualifier. Just missed it, only the top 4 qualify. 21, France. Number 20, China. Look at that number on the right, 453 points for the year. A great showing at the Under-23 World Cup, 4th place, ahead of countries like Korea and Venezuela. Now we've reached the top 18. Remember that the teams ranked from 13 to 18 at the end of 2025 will be invited to the qualifiers for the next Premier 12. An enviable position, but they'd all like to get into the top 12 and be automatically qualified for the main tournament. 18, Great Britain. 17, Germany, runner-up at the Under-18 European Championship, champions of the Under-12 qualifier. They qualify for both World Cups. 16, Nicaragua, 927 points for the year, bronze medalist at the Under-23 World Cup, 4th place at the Under-15 World Cup. A great year for Nicaraguan baseball. 1 year after their first WBC appearance, they keep the momentum going. 15, Czech Republic, another busy year for the Czechs, bronze at their own Prague Baseball Week, 3rd place at the Under-12 European qualifier, recently traveled to Asia and played Premier 12 warm-up games versus Japan and Taiwan. Italy, 9th out of 12 teams at the Under-15 World Cup, finished with 3 wins and 5 losses. Champions of the Under-18 European Championship to qualify for the Under-18 World Cup. Just outside of the top 12, number 13, Colombia, 10th at the Under-23 World Cup, 5th at the Under-15 World Cup. And here starts the top 12 as of right now. Number 12, Australia, 1 win, 5 losses in group play at the Premier 12. At the Under-23 World Cup, 4 wins, 4 losses. Number 11, Dominican Republic, 1-5 at the Premier 12. 7th place at the Under-15 World Cup, 9th at the Under-18 Baseball Americas qualifier, runner-up at the Under-12 qualifier. Number 10, Cuba, 1-5 at the Premier 12, 4th at the Under-18 qualifier, and 3rd at the Under-12 qualifier, so they qualified for both World Cups. Number 9, Puerto Rico, 1 win at the Premier 12, silver medalist at both the Under-23 and Under-15 World Cups, qualified for the Under-18 World Cup with a third-place finish at the qualifier. The Premier 12 may have been disappointing for them, but overall a good year for Puerto Rican baseball. Number 8, Panama, up 2 spots, 3-2 at the Premier 12, the best team in Group A not to make the Super Round. Runner-up in the Under-18 qualifier, hosted on their home soil, so they'll be at next year's Under-18 World Cup. Number 7, Netherlands, 2 wins at the Premier 12, 7th at the Under-23 World Cup, 10th at the Under-15 World Cup, runner-up at the Under-12 qualifier to qualify for next year's Under-12 World Cup, number 1 team in Europe. Going into this year, it seemed certain that Curaçao and Aruba were going to split from the Netherlands for the WBC. Now that we know that that's not going to happen, you know this is going to be a team to fear in the next WBC. Number 6, Korea, 3-2 at the Premier 12, but it wasn't enough to reach the Super Round. 5th place at the Under-23 World Cup, and qualified for the Under-18 World Cup. Number 5, USA, 3rd place at the Premier 12, one better than they did last time. Did not have a team at the Under-15 or Under-23 World Cups this year, but were champions of both the Under-12 and Under-18 qualifiers, so they have a chance to earn big points next year. Number 4, Mexico, down 2 spots from the previous ranking, where they were tied for 2nd place. 2 and 3 in group play at the Premier 12, 6th out of 12 teams at the Under-15 World Cup. A little disappointing this year for a country that had been doing so well lately. Number 3, Venezuela, 4th place at the Premier 12, enabling them to move up 1 spot, also 8th at the Under-15 World Cup. Number 2, the Premier 12 champions Taiwan. They were tied with Mexico for number 2 in the last rankings, but now hold it all to themselves. In addition to winning the Premier 12, they won bronze at the Under-15 World Cup, 8th place at the Under-23, champions of the Under-18 Asian Baseball Championship, and they've qualified for the Under-12 World Cup. Probably the greatest year ever for Taiwan baseball. And number 1 is still Japan. The Premier 12 runner-up, Under-23 and Under-15 World Cup champions only grew their lead at the top, despite their senior national team losing for the first time in 27 games. I don't see them losing that spot in 2025 either. And that's it, the top 84 countries in the world and all they have done this year. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. That's all for this one, and until next time, this is Baseball International. See ya!